2024 will end with a portal ritual and 2025 will begin with a portal ritual. On top of everything else, 2025 will be the year of the serpent. So even though we want to call it in the air and put it out there that 2025 will be a great year, to be positive, would it surprise me that things will become even more bizarre in 2025? No, it would not. Talking about the year of the serpent, let us not forget that the Paul Fort Audience Hall oddly looks like the head of a serpent, and inside the head of the serpent is this. But talking about the Vatican, Moon Henry on TikTok made a really good video talking about just that, the Vatican. Check this out.
I remember when Mel Gibson was completely blacklisted by all of Hollywood. And is it possible it had something to do with the Vatican? Let's search this thing out a little bit deeper. So, Mel Gibson was blacklisted by Hollywood and put on shows like South Park to make fun of him. So let's start by listening to just one statement out of his mouth and go from there.
That some of your worst nightmares were real. It does rip your life to pieces if you'll let it.
What will destroy your life if you let it?
These little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head.
You hear that last statement, something underground, devils, heathens, all that stuff? Like underground, maybe they have soulless entities, demonic entities of horns? Just for entertainment. But when he said that, something very vivid came to mind. Do you remember when the chief exorcist at the Vatican said that Satan was running around there? And this was also addressed by Pope Francis?
Headlines around the world recently when he said the devil was present in the Vatican.
Why would they say such a thing? And I wonder if there's any clues. It's been said for quite some time now. There's a whole bunch of things under the Vatican and in the Vatican Library. That Vatican Library that nobody can go in except for certain people, having to know exactly what they want to look at. By the way, this is not creepy at all. They say it's Jesus, but what it looks like is kind of like Apollo coming from the abyss with all these demons. Many people have hard evidence of demonic things being under the Vatican.
So here in this room, they have a vase which has the image of a Medusa.
So Medusa actually goes quite a ways back, but obviously she had snake, you get it, serpent, for hair. And she also turned people into stone. But turning people to stone? Surely that's a myth, right? It has to be a myth. It's not like there's stone sculptures all around the world, especially the Vatican, that are so realistic and could even show things like veils on their head. I wonder if maybe the myths aren't myths, but actual fact. You know, we've also seen something very similar on the line, The Witch in the Wardrobe, haven't we? Where people were literally turned to stone. Maybe it's not as far-fetched as we may think. Maybe everything that's a myth is real. Because of course we know all the Greek gods were the Nephilim and were the fallen angels, right? Yeah, I don't know if someone sculpted that. Okay, it seems something might be treacherous under the Vatican. What about their theme park in Rome that had these demons on top? And Moloch? How about when they put this sculpture of Moloch right at the Colosseum? I'm sure you know what this god is for, right? The same god as Baal or Baal, the old Canaanite god of the golden calf. You know, I checked this image right here, and it said it was not likely AI. This thing I can't tell you for certain, but some people are alleging that the Scream persona came from the Vatican. They did have artwork, not this that was just the same though. So what was Mel Gibson so scared of that said it could destroy a human? And that was quite literally underground, soulless individuals with horns. I'm not sure, but I do know one thing. Andrew Garfield came out way after the fact saying that Mel Gibson deserves a second chance. This was after the noise of freedom. The problem is Mel's still Mel.
You know, by their fruits, you'll know them. Seen any good fruit lately?
You know, at this point, I've learned to trust nobody. But I also think with him being the Passion of Christ, maybe he would have crossed trails to people from the Vatican. If you don't already know, the Vatican gave power to the crown and the crown to the U.S. So we in the U.S., we owe it to the Vatican. And of course, we have all this stuff going on in the sky, and we have the Pope coming out to open those 5 ritual portal doors. And with him doing all these portal things while all these things happen to be in the sky, in the 12th century, Bishop was known for his mystic revelations. According to his prophecy, Pope Francis, identified as 266th pontiff, is ominously termed the Pope of the Apocalypse. I happened to see this at the same time. So is it possible that Mel Gibson wasn't actually talking about Holywood? Holywood was a place in ancient Rome where they had Mir or Lake Diane, the goddess of Diane the Huntress. And the trees there, the Holywood trees, would make their magic wands. And again, Rome, meaning that the source of magic all around the world is the Vatican. So maybe he wasn't talking about Holywood, maybe he was talking about the Vatican. Maybe it's always been the Vatican.
It's not just the Vatican. Let's go ahead and end today's video with, again, one of my favorite segments, pastors who are acting very hypocritical and talking about their sins at the pulpit, and their audience members, the churchgoers, completely mesmerized by these pastors.
I don't carry a wallet. I carry one of these things. Jerry Savelle taught me to just go Louis Vuitton. I got Louis Vuitton underwear. I got all kinds of stuff. Jerry showed me how to do all that stuff. Louis Vuitton. When they walk in, they go, Louis here.
Yes, sir. This is Rosette, and she came in tonight with pain all over her body. She even had surgery on her vocal cords because there was some blockage, but that pain is leaving her body, and she believes tonight God has healed her vocal cords, and she's believing that she can sing tonight.
What happened to you? Well, I've got a very long story. Touch.
Don't put it on me. That means you're rejoicing because you're ready to go.
There's a series of documents that total almost $50,000 to Limo Land in 2013 and 14. Okay, what was that for?
That was to cut the Mercedes into a limo.
It was to cut the Mercedes
into a limo.
And who needs that?
No, that's for guests.
It's for guests. And for you?
It's mostly
when
for
you're entertaining guests?
Yes.
When you're entertaining?
Well, I'm not. When we have guests come in, high-profile people, we
you have to have a limo
that way. Don't have to have a limo, but
in a Mercedes limo.
We treat them.
You treat them?
I said that we have hospitality. Maybe that's a better word.
Okay, then.
And this is not the first one the ministry has had. We had another Mercedes limousine. That's right.
So you paid Limo Land almost $50,000 total.
Almost $50,000.
And that was for what? To make a limo.
To cut the Mercedes into a limo.
And you think that was a good use of the money that people donated to you in JMMI?
Well, I mean, the banks certainly have looked at that on our books as good because it has an appraisal value of almost $200K, a little over $150,000.
So, but you got this from donations, and you decided to use it to make a limo.
We really invested really good. The banks.
No, I'm just asking if that's what you did.
No, not the way you're saying it. It's you're fortifying, forging.
I'm forging
with your mouth. Yeah.
At church. Yeah, that's where I'm going. You ought to be there with your stupid stuff. You ought to be going with me. Your pastor got a jet. Where you get the money from to get a jet? From the Lord.
You walk on gold. It looks like this. See that gold? See on them shoes? Get a shot of this, boys. Get close. Come on, man. Look, I paid a fortune for them things. Suck in there, man. See that gold? Some of y'all got that in your teeth. Okay. Look again. Gold is very, very expensive. Great.
So for you that don't think I should have that plane, God told me to have that plane.
When he didn't respond to our request for an interview, I met him at a book signing.
Why do you need a $54 million private jet?
We're not doing any kind of interviews right now. I'm in a book.
I'd just like to know why you need a keep your hands off me.
Why are you people touching me like this?
Because you need to wait.
Let go of me.
The next day, back on the pulpit, he joked about how his security got rid of me.
She's gone. Boom. I could hear her holler. And I came back and said, what'd you do with her? He said, I made her outside edition.
For $54 million, I want you to imagine how many people could be fed, how many homeless could have places to sleep.
Ole Anthony.
You see, so when people criticize my house, or my car, or my bling bling, or my wife, I tell you what, he sure dresses her good. Well, yeah, why? I got to look at her. I buy that woman makeup. I seen her without it. I said, don't leave home without it. Not that she ugly, but she just look better. She want to buy something pretty, put it on, mama, because all it does is make me look good. He said, that's your wife? Whoo, somebody must really love her. Someone saw her diamond ring the other day. I don't know, it was her wedding band. She got a beautiful wedding ring. And they said, and some person said, boss, somebody must really love you. Why? Well, if the spotlight hit it to blind you, that's not bragging. You think it is. You think that's lavish living. No, that's biblical living. That's biblical living. It's biblical living. And I can prove every which way I'm living. I am living biblically. But how many of you are living biblically?
Yes, to those watching this, I agree with you. This is absolutely horrifying. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.